With both her hands trembling, Amanda held the bottle which contained a deadly poison. She read the description on the bottle, and with tears flowing down her eyes, she slowly opened the bottle. On the glass table in front of her was a note she had already written to tell her parents why she ended her own life. She read it once more, and just as she was about to drink the poison, the door to her room flew open. She stopped to see who it was. It was her best friend, Nkechi. Nkechi saw the shock on Amanda's face, with the tears in her eyes and the note on the table. She quickly understood what her friend was trying to do and ran to snatch the bottle from her hand. "Are you crazy? What is wrong with you? Have you gone insane? Why would you even think of taking your own life? Amanda, why?" Amanda broke down in uncontrollable tears. She threw herself to the ground and cried like a child. "I am pregnant, Nkechi. I am pregnant. What can I do? My parents would skin me alive if they should find out." "How? Who is the father? How did it happen?" "Emeka did this to me. I warned him that I wasn't ready, but he promised that it would be fine. Now look at the outcome." "Have you told him? What did he say?" "He denied it. He called me all sorts of names. He claimed that I was sleeping with other men, despite the fact that he met me as a virgin, and then he asked me to abort the child." Nkechi sat on the floor with Amanda and held her in a warm embrace. She felt really sorry for her best friend. But killing yourself isn't the answer. Life is too precious to be thrown away so easily. What about your dreams and ambitions in life? But have you considered aborting it? "I would rather die than commit abortion. As for my dreams and ambitions, I'm still in my 4th year. My parents would stop sponsoring me once they learn that I am pregnant. How then would I chase my dreams and ambitions?" Nkechi advised Amanda not to jump into conclusions. She urged Amanda to tell her parents and see what their reaction would be. But Amanda's parents were highly respected deacons in their church. They would often boast about the chastity of their daughter, Amanda, and use her as an example for the other young ladies to emulate. Amanda was also the leader of the female youths in their church. She had a lot of responsibilities and expectations. This was the reason she wanted to kill herself, because she couldn't continue to bear the shame and the ridicule that would be thrown at her. The next day, Amanda decided to summon the courage and tell her parents about her pregnancy. It was a Sunday, and her parents had just returned from church. The theme of the sermon was forgiveness, and Amanda felt it would create the right atmosphere for her to tell her parents the truth. "Mom, Dad, please, there's something I would like to tell you," Amanda said to them as soon as they entered the living room after returning from church. Her parents were surprised because this would be the first time she would address the both of them at the same time. They both sat down on the couch, still holding their Bibles as they gave her a listening ear. Amanda sat down and took a deep breath. Then she started. "Mom, Dad, I know that you would be very disappointed in me, and for that I sincerely apologize for letting the both of you down. Please forgive me." Her parents became very confused. because Amanda was the perfect daughter to them. She had never done anything to offend them. She was their pride and joy, a child they were deeply pleased with. Amanda, even before you tell us what it is that you have done, consider your flaws forgiven, her mother said. Go ahead and spill the beans. Like your mother said, how bad could it be? Her father added. Amanda took another deep breath, and with all the courage she could muster, she told them, I am pregnant. At first, her parents didn't really understand what she said until she repeated it again. I said, I am pregnant. Amanda's father instantly got upset. What do you mean by you are pregnant? Is this a joke? Is this a prank? Sweetheart, tell us you're joking. How can you be pregnant? Who is responsible? When did you lose your virginity? Amanda broke down in tears and buried her head in shame. His name is Emeka, our choir master in church and the head of our Christian group on campus. Emeka, the choir master. How? Get up right this instant. Let us go and meet him. Out of anger, her father and mother dragged her into the car and raced to Emeka's house. When they arrived, Emeka was in the living room watching a TV program. His door wasn't locked, and without knocking, Amanda's parents barged in, dragging Amanda with them. Emeka was shocked and became more afraid when he saw Amanda, but he quickly composed himself. He tried to welcome Amanda's parents, but they ignored his greetings. Emeka, what is this thing that I'm hearing about you getting my daughter pregnant? Please, tell us the truth. You are like a son to me, and being a member of our church, you are like family to us. Are you responsible for her pregnancy? Emeka pretended to be unaware of Amanda's situation. He looked at Amanda in disbelief and pretense, and then he lied to her parents. Sir, you mean Amanda is pregnant? How? When? How can she be pregnant? Are you trying to say that you are not responsible for her pregnancy? This is the first time I'm hearing this. How is it possible that I will be responsible? Or did Amanda tell you that I am responsible? Amanda started weeping uncontrollably. She knelt down and held Emeka's leg and pleaded with him to say the truth. But Emeka insisted that he had never touched Amanda, talk less of sleeping with her. He quickly ran inside his room and brought out a Bible. I swear on this holy Bible that if I am responsible for your daughter's pregnancy, may no other woman conceive for me. Immediately he said that, Amanda's father said, Amen, and then they dragged Amanda out of his house, took her back to the car, and went home. They urged her to say the truth and reveal the father of her child. But Amanda insisted that Emeka was the man responsible for her pregnancy. This continued until night, and her parents told her to pack her things and leave their house. They told her that they've disowned her and they never want to set eyes on her again. Amanda pleaded with them to forgive her and give her another chance. But her parents refused, and they sent her packing out of their house just because they wanted to retain their positions as reputable deacons in their church. Amanda carried her things and went to Nkechi's house that night. Nkechi welcomed her and consoled her. She promised Amanda that she would be there for her and always support her until she put to bed. Amanda and Nkechi were best of friends right from childhood. They both went to the same school, but Nkechi's father passed away when Nkechi was still in high school. Nkechi's mother was a housewife before the death of her husband, so she had to take up menial jobs to survive. Nkechi also had to work as well to support herself. One of the many places where Nkechi worked was in a strip club. Amanda's parents knew of this and warned Amanda sternly to stay away from Nkechi. They believed Nkechi would be a bad influence because she worked in a strip club. But Amanda continued being friends with Nkechi because she knew not to judge a book by its cover. Things were very tough for Amanda in the days that followed up, so she had to equally take up menial jobs to sponsor herself through school because her parents had withdrawn their support. After lectures at school every day, Amanda worked part-time in a bar as a waitress. It wasn't easy combining her studies with her job and the stress that followed from being pregnant, together with the stigma that she endured. After some months, when the stomach started getting bigger, Nkechi asked her to focus only on her studies and her health. Don't worry about the money. I have enough savings that will sustain us both until you give birth. You need as much rest as you can get. Amanda thanked Nkechi and promised to repay her kindness sometime in the future. She stayed at home and studied seriously for her final exams. On the day she wrote her last paper, immediately she submitted, her water broke and she was rushed to the hospital. Amanda gave birth to a bouncing baby girl who was so adorable and beautiful. She named her daughter Hope. Meanwhile, as Amanda struggled in the labor room to give birth to her rejected daughter, Emeka was at his wedding reception, dancing and celebrating with his newly wedded wife. He got married to a woman called Julian. He had completely forgotten about Amanda and his crime. Nkechi was so happy for Amanda, and together they took care of the newborn baby. One day, Nkechi returned home and saw Amanda deep in thoughts. Nkechi asked her, "What is the matter? Don't forget you just had a baby. Or do you want to increase your blood pressure?" "Nkechi, I am now a single mother. What are my chances of getting married? You know how people view single mothers in this part of the world." Nkechi advised Amanda not to worry herself with such thoughts. She told Amanda to focus on being the best mother she can to her daughter and also build a career for herself. When Amanda's results were released, she was among the top students in her set, and she was very lucky to get a job few years after she finished her NYSC. As at this time, her daughter, Hope, was already in primary school. Hope was very brilliant and had a beautiful voice. Each time Hope sang, people loved to sit and listen. Back at Amanda's previous church, Emeka and his wife, Julian, were yet to have a child of their own. They had visited all the best gynecologists in the city and carried out series of tests, but they were always told that they were medically okay. Unknown to Emeka, that the words that he swore when he denied Amanda's pregnancy was the reason why they were yet to have children of their own. One night, Julian, Emeka's wife, had a dream. In her dream, she saw Emeka drowning in a river. She ran to the edge of the river and threw a rope to him. Emeka caught on the rope, but Julian was unable to pull the rope. The more she tried to pull him out, the more she got drawn into the river. As she struggled to pull Emeka out of the river, she saw an old man on a canoe. She pleaded with the man to save Emeka, but the man said, only the truth would save him, and if you are not careful enough, he will drag you into the bottom of the river with him. Tell him to confess and say the truth. As soon as the man said those words, he paddled away, and Emeka began to drown faster, dragging the rope and Julian with him. Immediately, Julian woke up sweating seriously. She quickly woke Emeka up and narrated the dream to him. Emeka understood the meaning of the dream, but he was scared to say the truth. Over the years, Emeka had grown from being a simple choir master to a very popular gospel artist who was well known and loved by many people. And for this reason, he was scared that if he should say the truth, his reputation and career would be destroyed. So he pretended that he didn't understand the dream and told Julian that they would pray about it. Hope grew up to be very talented. At a young age of 12, many people called her to sing in their occasions just to hear her special voice. It didn't take long before she equally became popular. Her mother was very proud of her and would always thank Nkechi, her best friend, for stopping her when she wanted to commit suicide in the past. After a few more years, Julian started threatening to divorce Emeka because of the ridicule and mockery she got from her fellow women. In order to save his marriage, Emeka decided to confess. He visited Amanda's father and mother with his wife. Then he went on his knees and apologized to them. Mama, Papa, I am very sorry. I have greatly offended you. Please forgive me. Amanda's parents were quite aged, so they didn't understand why Emeka would be seeking their forgiveness. Ever since they threw Amanda out of their house, they have been living in regret because she was their only child. The church eventually replaced them some years later with younger deacons. They wished they didn't choose their reputation over their daughter. Emeka, right? What have you done that you are seeking for our forgiveness? Sir, back then you asked if I was responsible for Amanda's pregnancy. I lied. I am responsible for her pregnancy. I was the one who deflowered her. But I was scared of what would happen to me, so that was why I denied her. Amanda's parents were very heartbroken. They became very bitter and they broke down after Emeka's confession. They started regretting their actions. They wished they had believed their daughter. Please, forgive me. I have been childless since I got married because I swore with the Bible. I felt it wouldn't change anything. Please forgive me so that I can have children of my own. You didn't offend us, Emeka. The person you offended was Amanda. It is her forgiveness you have to seek. And ever since we sent her out of our house because of you, we haven't seen or heard from her. Emeka left their house, disappointed and hurt. He began searching for Amanda, but he couldn't find her. It has been many years, and a lot of people couldn't even remember who Amanda was. After searching for months, Emeka gave up on the search. His wife, Julian, divorced him and things went from bad to worse. His career as a gospel artist also started to crumble. Nkechi eventually found a man who genuinely loved her, and on their wedding day, Hope was invited to sing. The song that she rendered was so sensational that it became a global hit. Many popular musicians started searching for her to feature her in their songs. One of the many popular artists who wanted her on his song was Emeka. He had no idea that Hope was his daughter. Emeka's manager had advised him to feature Hope in his song in order to revive his career, since she was the one of the most sought-after artists in the music industry. After Emeka's manager had discussed with Amanda and Hope regarding Emeka's proposal to sing a song with Hope, they all went to the studio. But when they arrived, Amanda was shocked to see Emeka. It had been a long time, but she recalled his face perfectly. Emeka, she screamed in shock. Emeka equally recognized her. Then he looked at Hope. Is she my daughter? Emeka was trying to ask the question, but Amanda wouldn't let him complete the question. She took Hope and stormed out of the studio in anger. Emeka ran after them, pleading with Amanda to hear him out, but Amanda ignored him and drove away. Emeka felt hopeless. He went back to Amanda's parents and informed them that he had found Amanda. Amanda's parents became very happy when they heard the news. They met Emeka's manager, and together they all went to see Amanda in the house where she lived. Amanda's parents were very surprised when they arrived at a very big and beautiful house in which Amanda lived in. They were happy that their daughter succeeded all on her own, but they were also ashamed of their past actions. When Amanda saw her parents, she remembered how they treated her in the past and wanted to ignore them. But she decided to let them into her house because of Hope. Each time Hope asked Amanda about her father and grandparents, Amanda would always tell her that she would meet them one day. When they all entered into the house, Amanda's parents went on their knees alongside Emeka and pleaded for her forgiveness. They apologized for not believing her and for all the things she had been through in the past because of them. Amanda looked at her old mother and father on their knees and felt very sad for them. She asked them to sit down and told them that she had forgiven them. Emeka crawled on his knees to where Amanda sat, broke down in tears, and started asking her to forgive him. In that moment, Hope entered the living room and saw all of them. She saw how remorseful and broken Emeka was, so she pleaded with her mother to forgive him as well. Amanda forgave Emeka and introduced all to Hope as her father and grandparents. Amanda's parents were blessed to meet Hope. But as they were about to leave, Emeka asked Amanda a question. He said, I know I have greatly hurt you in the past, and my life has been a mess because of my actions. But I am single now. Please, can you be my wife? Can we reunite and become one happy family? Tell me, if you were Amanda, or if Amanda was your sister, Would you allow her marry Emeka, despite all he did to her in the past? But the moral lesson of this story is that no matter how difficult any situation may be, do not give up. There are always better days ahead. Let no trouble be so difficult that you would want to take your own life. Because as long as there is life, then there is hope. Be mindful of your actions today, because it can return to haunt you in the future. And most importantly, know that whatever you sow is what you will eventually reap. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this story, give it a thumbs up, comment and share. Thank you, and God bless you.